Hello, insiders. Newsflash time. First item, we are adding playlists to the features in view-only mode during the penalty period after a community guideline strike. So while in view-only mode, users won't be able to create new playlists, edit, or add collaborators to existing playlists. This only applies if you've had a community guideline strike. So the vast majority of creators, this shouldn't affect at all. Next, we have a new blog series coming out, which is talking about our themes around responsibility. And the first is about removing harmful content on the platform. And it will take a lot of the data from our quarterly transparency report, which was recently updated as well. So keep an eye out for that and link below to that information. Next, the live control room is getting some major updates. The new desktop live creation tool in YouTube Studio. As part of this update, we'll remove the beta label and we'll be starting the deprecation of the classic live tools, Stream Now and Events. So I believe Barbara did a video about that recently, so we'll link to that below as well. Next, we're testing out a new feature where if you're reading a comment on a video, you can learn more about the commenter. It'll include the recent comments left by this commenter on the channel within the last 12 months. It will not show comments that viewer has left on other channels, but it'll help you kind of get a sense of what this person is writing. And we hope that it will strengthen connections with others in the YouTube community and will help creators recognize some of their best commenters. Next, we're running an experiment to see if a personalized message from the creator impacts the likelihood of a prospective fan subscribing. The message will appear on the watch page near the subscribe button. And we're starting with a very small group of a few dozen creators just to test it. If it works out, we will likely consider expanding it to more. Still there? Movie? Okay. Last week's movie was The Avengers, and the first person to guess it was Jack Zen. So congrats to Jack. This week's movie. This is a kind of philosophical quote. And this movie, I think, came out in the 2000s. So if you are of the younger generation, either you have to have an interest in older movies or you may not get this one. But you should probably watch it because it was a very well-recognized movie, kind of groundbreaking movie. The Na'vi say that every person is born twice. The second time is when you earn your place among the people forever. So if you know what movie that's from, put it in the comments. If you're the first one to guess it correctly, we will call you out in the next newsflash. Next, about a year ago, we added impressions and click-through rate as metrics exclusively in the new Studio Beta Analytics section. What you've told us is that these metrics have been really helpful in understanding your potential for viewers in terms of impressions and how well they convert into views. Helps you get a sense of how well your title and thumbnail are performing. You've also told us that you wanted to make these decisions with fresher data, closer to the time of upload. So after many quarters and many engineering cycles to make this happen, we've now rolled out up to the minute click-through rate to all creators. You'll see impressions and click-through rate 3 hours after making your video public on Video Analytics in the Reach tabs. After 3 hours, it'll be up to the minute and showing the freshest data we have. You'll also see one more day of data for these two metrics on your channel. And remember to always make sure your thumbnail is representative of the content in your video. And check that viewers are still watching it by monitoring your average view duration. So there's also a Creator Academy lesson about how to avoid misleading and clickbaity thumbnails, because if we find that a thumbnail is very misleading, doesn't represent the content in the video, results in very low duration views, that will be taken into consideration as to whether that video gets promoted. So please be careful when you think about optimizing your thumbnail and title. Next, I wanted to give a shout out to JackFrags, who sent us a video where he laid out some of the things that he wishes were better about the Studio Beta. Jack, thank you for taking the time to make that video. I've watched it. I've shared it with the team that leads the Studio Beta transition effort, and we really, really appreciate you highlighting very specific things that we can then work on and improve. Some of the things we might be able to fix in the near term. Other things will take a little bit longer. But Jack really did a great job because he, instead of just saying, oh, I don't like the Studio Beta, he said, let me show you what I don't like about the Studio Beta. See, when I try to do this, this happens, or I can't find this specific feature, or I know where this feature is, but the way it works here, it's very confusing, or I wish it did this or that. Like, the more specific creators can be in terms of giving us feedback on the Studio Beta, the faster and more likely we can work on improving those things. Just as a heads up, known issues are we are working on, and hopefully you've seen improvements in page load speed. There will be some improvements to ease of navigation coming in the next probably month or so. And then there's also a bunch of new analytics information that we just talked about and better discoverability of live. So lots of new stuff coming to the Studio Beta as we continue to make it better every month. So thanks for everybody for giving specific feedback. That's it for this week. Hope it was helpful. In the meantime, keep it real.